Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about upselling. When should you do it? How should you do it? And why should you do it? We'll talk about all that and more in today's video, so stick around. I know we've all been there before, whether you were buying a car or an expensive piece of electronic equipment. Someone tried to sell you the extra warranty or the extended service plan or whatever it is. Nobody likes the feeling of being sold on something, let alone the feeling of being upsold on something. Yet good salespeople, good business owners know that you need to capitalize on the customers you have. You know, acquiring a customer is expensive, right? If you've done it out there with outbound sales or outbound marketing, you know it costs a lot of money. If you can acquire a customer for less than 50% of what that customer will spend the first time, you're doing a good job. So we need to maximize the dollar amount that we get from each customer, but we have to do it in a way that makes our business sustainable. And it's unsustainable when we sell people hard or feel sleazy about it. So I thought today we'd talk about upselling, when we should do it, why we should do it, and more importantly, how we should do it in a way that adds value to our customer and doesn't leave them feeling the way that you felt when you bought that car or that piece of electronic equipment. So I've got a couple points today I want to talk about, and the first one is that you don't always have to upsell. I think more than anything, when you're running a business, you're a freelancer or you're selling services, you have to ask yourself, what would benefit my customer first? Would an upsell benefit them here, or do they really not have the budget for it? You know, we all have that grandma that has been scammed on the phone by somebody selling something hard and following a script, and they just said yes to get through. You know, they were upselling them really hard to give them something they didn't need and didn't provide value, and you don't want to be that person. You have to first ask yourself, will it benefit the customer for me to offer them this upsell on their existing purchase? You know they're going to make a baseline purchase, but will it benefit them for you to offer them this additional service? I think that's the first question, because if we're not serving our customers, if we're not serving them well, then we won't have any in the future. You know, if you want to have more customers, treat the ones you have in the best possible way you can. So ask yourself, does it benefit the customer more than it benefits you? And if the answer is no, then you don't upsell them. You don't always need to upsell. It's not about maximizing every single dollar. It's about maximizing the customers that you can serve better with an upsell. So ask yourself, does it benefit the customer more than it benefits me? And if the answer is yes, then the runway is clear for you to ask these following questions. I would first ask, does it make sense with their current purchase? You know, they're coming for a baseline service. They're going to buy something from you, and you have to ask yourself, is the upsell I'm about to offer them correlated enough for me to mention it? Does it make sense with what they're already purchasing? You know, if they're purchasing something over here, don't offer them something that's way over there, totally unrelated. Make sure it's a complementary service or product to go along with it. You know, Amazon does this actually really well. They have an algorithm on their pages that will show you below your item what other people who purchased that item also purchased. It's like also purchased with this item, and it shows, oh, when somebody bought, you know, this item, they bought the accessory that went with this item, and these two things went together. It might be a little more difficult to identify that when you offer a creative service without not a tangible product, but you need to think about that ahead of time and say, what part of my additional services correlates with this, and what customer would that fit with? Make sure when you offer an upsell, it makes good complementary sense with their current purchase, because if it doesn't, it's not worth mentioning, it's not worth offering. Then you get back to that first question where this is not really for the benefit of the customer, it's for your benefit, and they see that. They feel that. It feels gross, it feels ugly, and nobody wants to be involved in that kind of transaction. Could possibly even lose you a future transaction. You see, that's kind of a sidebar. You need to realize that every customer that comes through your door, comes to your business, buys your product or your service, every customer is a potential future customer. And you want to treat them in such a way that they feel good about coming back, not that they simply escaped from your grips with their one purchase and they don't want to do business with you anymore, but you want them to feel like, wow, they treated me well, everything they offered me made sense, it was complimentary, it was to my benefit, and nobody feels sleazy or gross or slimy about it. So make sure it correlates and makes sense so you can turn that current customer into a future customer. The second thing you need to ask yourself is, does this upsell build trust? Because the only way to turn a current customer into a future customer is to continue to build trust with them. Offering this additional service, this upsell, whatever you want to call it, however you want to package it, it must help you build trust with them, meaning that it finally must be an excellent value. So I believe trust and value always go together. If you offer somebody something that is an obvious kind of money grab, it's not a great value. What they're getting for what they're paying is kind of crazy and you're just trying to capitalize on the opportunity, then it breaks trust. I believe these two things go together. You will build trust when you offer upsells that are excellent values, meaning that oftentimes upsells come as discounted services. Now, you know my opinion on discounts if you've been watching this channel for any length of time. I don't love discounts. I like setting your rates, setting your prices, sticking with where you are, knowing that you've put them in a great place to be a value already. But when it comes to upselling someone, what you're doing is you're bypassing the whole acquisition process where you have to spend money to get that person through the door to your business, to your website, whatever it may be. Now you have them and you can offer them an excellent value by discounting. I'll leave that to your discretion as to how much of a discount, but slightly discounting what you're offering so that the upsell is an extraordinary value. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Instead of an excellent value, it needs to be an extraordinary value. Like, why wouldn't I take them up on this offer now? Because this offer won't be there later if I'm purchasing it as a standalone, or it wouldn't be there if I came here and went for this service only. This is a special upsell price. And when you do that, when you create exceptional value for your customer, it builds trust. It shows them that, hey, I'm looking out for you and making sure that you get the best possible, not just experience with me, but the best possible product from me at a price that is a true value. And I think if you follow these tenets, these principles, then upselling will not be full of pressure. It won't feel slimy, and it won't break your customers from their desire to come back to you. It will actually build trust in your relationship so that they feel like, hey, this person took good care of me. I can come back to them the next time I need something similar, or even better, if it's something that they don't offer, I'm going to come back and say, hey, do you offer this? That's one way in my early days, and even still today, but especially in the early days, I could tell when I was serving people well. They would come back to me and they would ask, hey, do you do this? And this was a service that I obviously didn't publicize. I obviously didn't offer. Sometimes I did offer it, just wasn't publicized. Other times it was completely unrelated. My agency creates videos. People come and say, do you build websites? Well, no, they're not even related. Why would you ask? Because they trust me and they know that if I in some way can set that up for them, they can trust it because we've built trust over the years through these transactions, these interactions together. So here again are the keys to a good upsell. Make sure it makes sense with the purchase. It benefits your customer more than it benefits you. It builds trust and it's an exceptional value. If you do those things, I believe you'll be able to make more money with each customer and you'll be able to turn current customers into future customers. Thanks for watching.